live.
Se você quiser rolar, procura um parceiro. Se você quiser treinar, procura um coach. Se você quiser aprender, procura um professor. Agora, se quiser entender, chama um mestre. Chama um mestre. Chama um mestre.
Here we are.
Good to see you, Tom. Now we're live.
Hello, Master. Hello, Professor. Hello,
Yes, sir.
Grandmaster.
We are. So,
You know, like Ian used to do, Ian's a third-degree black belt.
I really don't
know
know.
how he present that as a traditional family.
We'll try another thing.
Jiu-jitsu.
So,
Can you hear that?
I can hear.
So let's go. Let's go easy here. Total Phenopolis, man. The first time we met was in.
It had to be, I think, around 2000, Master, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2001, something like that.
No, because probably was 99 or 2000 because I couldn't get back to the United States in 2001.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that was the time that my father went there to take care of.
That's right.
Exactly. The time we exchanged for better.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you know what? I cannot go. Because unfortunately, I cannot go. But fortunately, you have something. What I can offer. My father. That was exactly the. Couldn't be better, man.
I agree. And thank you so much for that. Do you remember Patrick?
Yes, for sure. I still talk to him.
Oh, wow.
The Ronnie on Instagram. The Ronnie. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, he's the one who he showed up at my school one day with his blue belt and a gi over his back. This was probably 96, I think.
Uh-huh.
There. And he says, "Hey, I want someplace to train. Do you want to learn BJJ?" And of course I did. And we trained for about a year or two. And then he said, "Hey, listen, I'm going back to Brazil." He had a girlfriend there at the time.
Yes.
And I'm looking for an affiliation. So he was gone for quite a while. He came back and he says, "I found who we're going to train with." It's like
Nice.
Silvio.
Yeah. And you know what?
Yes.
That girl was his girlfriend. She's actually a niece, Ciro's niece. Ciro is my my roommate. Where I'm living on his house after I got divorced. My fifth wife. I'm living at his place there. I getting married again, actually, very soon. Very happy with that. I found a beautiful girl, Adriana. And we are trying. I'm trying again, and I hope this is going to be the last one. But Ciro's niece was Patrick's girlfriend that time, and she actually is married with another guy and lives in Palos Verdes in California. So still there.
Wow.
It's interesting, man. Interesting life.
Small world, after all. Small world.
Yes, true. And I know Patrick is dealing with a lot of hard stuff there in his life now. But You have a beautiful couple, his kids, a boy and a girl. I believe they around 13 or something in there. I'm a little older, but I still have contact with him.
That's nice. I haven't seen him in years.
I don't know if he's around there yet. He's still.
Yeah. But
let me put some questions for you, Tom.
yes, sir.
The first one is, well, you are a master, casual Campbell master. Can you explain exactly what is casual Campbell and what that means, and how long are you practicing and teaching?
I see. Kaju Kembo was my first martial art. Actually, I started wrestling first when I was a young teenager, 12 years old. And when I was about 15 years old, I suffered a horrific head injury, which resulted in a metal plate in my head. And so I couldn't grapple after that. I went to the local karate school because I was still very competitive. I wanted to learn self-defense. I was very shy. I'm still very shy, but I didn't have a lot of self-confidence when I was a child. You know, coming here from Greece, the language was different. I had a hard time fitting in. And so anyway, I started learning karate at about 15 years old. And so it's about 45 years now. A couple, 3-4 years ago, I received the rank of Grandmaster in Kaju Kembo. And it was right around 1995. At 93, when I saw the UFC and I saw what Hoist did, I knew I wanted to learn BJJ. So in 95, I started training BJJ. At the time, I was driving out from Oakdale, 3 hours, to Claudio Francis School in Santa Cruz. I would leave on a Friday afternoon, fight the traffic, spend the night in my car, to train at a school Friday night, spend the night in my car, and then train with him on Saturday morning. And then I would come back on Saturday. And then a year or two later is when Patrick showed up at my school wanting to teach. I wanted to learn BJJ initially because I felt in Kaju Kembo, it's a combination of karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, Japanese style, kempo, and boxing. And so I saw some of the Kaju Kembo people throwing people, and I knew that they didn't know what they were doing. I understood that we needed to better our judo and jiu-jitsu. And so this is why I wanted to learn BJJ. Of course, when I got my blue belt, it was from Marcio Corletta, Professor Marcio. And right about that time is when I realized I wanted to get more serious and kind of separate the two. But until that time, I was just looking to better my judo and jiu-jitsu for Kaju Kembo.
Perfect.
Make sense?
For sure,
Perfect.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
you got very successful putting everything together with your students there. You had some excellent fighters on MMA. And this combination, that exactly what it did apply on your training for MMA for your guys there.
Yeah, I think we were okay successful. We were in a small town, unfortunately, and so unlike other major teams that were able to draw from universities with, wrestlers with great base, right? That had maybe 10 years of wrestling. We didn't have any of that. So a lot of our guys came up from scratch. They came up from nothing. And so given the fact that we were in a small town, small community, and doing as good as we did, I think we did okay. I think we did all right.
Yeah, I know that you have a lot of MMA fighters, very good ones. So it's for sure. This is but to be a fighter, it depends on two things: your desire to be, and finding a person to teach you and to guide you, and they found. So
yeah, well, I wasn't looking to teach MMA or to coach. I just wanted to be a full-time martial artist, a student, right? And people would come to me and ask me, "Hey, can you teach?" Maybe they did kickboxing and they want to learn grappling, or maybe they were grapplers wanting to learn kickboxing. So that's how we developed the team 20 years ago when things were growing, right around 2000. right? I didn't ask for MMA. I like the traditional arts myself. And I saw a certain characteristics in MMA that I disliked, kind of an attitude, if you will, right? A very
Yes.
non-martial artist attitude, more of a cage fighting attitude.
Yeah.
Hey, I get
Yeah.
people up and make money. You know, I didn't like that attitude. But anyway, so I did my best to influence these young men, you know, in a positive way, to make them understand that martial arts is a lifestyle. It's not a paycheck. And now I try my best to gear them away from MMA. So why? Because I see a lot of the guys that have been with me a long time, they're having a hard time making a living now because they spent, you know, 8 years, let's say, fighting. They didn't spend it getting a degree or getting, you know, learning how to do
Teaching
a job.
skills. Yeah.
Right now, they're retired from MMA and they're clueless on what to do. So I saw that time and time again. They weren't all, you know, successful like maybe the 1%. You follow me?
Yes.
So now when I get young guys that come up to me and say, "Hey, you know, Professor Tom, I want to fight," I tell them to go get married. You want to
That's
fight?
right.
Get married.
Exactly. That's
Oh, my
interesting. Man.
It's perfect. Tom. That's perfect.
I remember the first. I can call that a club that you put a match on. That wasn't a gym. It was an oven
It was a
because it
what?
was so hot. Was it like an oven? It was so
Oh,
hot in there.
yeah.
And I remember it was a summertime in California. And we did train there. I say, man, I gotta die inside here, man. That was really hot place. I know you started there with the mats on, and who was the guy that was there with you from the beginning? That was I think was helping you there.
Was it
Besides
Tom Prada?
Patrick,
Tom Prada, yeah.
Tom Prada, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, Tom Prada was, I think, a 4th-degree judo player, and he came in, started training judo with us. Um, yeah, he was a really good guy, world traveler. I'm not sure where he is now. I think Grandmaster, you keep in touch with him, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes I listen something from him because he travels everywhere. He lives here and there, and it's funny. At that time, he was living in close to you, so that was
Modesto.
a little bit, yeah. But after that, he left to leave. I think it was in Costa Rica or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't hear from him for a long time.
Yeah, he loved
Uh, One thing I love there in your region, there I would had a chance to visit Yosemite Park. Beautiful area there. I really enjoyed the time there. All the traveling there in California, man. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, we're fortunate, Master, because we're in the middle of the mountains and then the ocean. We're, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours from the ocean, and we're an hour from the mountains, from Yosemite, an hour and a half maybe. So we're very fortunate here.
Yeah, and you have a very close to you, and Sonora. You have an excellent place to retire. That's right.
Yeah,
On the mountains.
I love Sonora. My wife
Yeah.
doesn't like it.
Oh yeah.
She likes to be close to the children, grandchildren. She likes to be close to shopping.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I love Sonora. I love the mountains, the fresh air. I drive up there 3 days a week now to teach because it's growing so much. We're in the process of purchasing a very large commercial building to move the school
Nice.
into because we just don't have any room.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was
Well, yeah,
just about to ask how much it grows. I cannot have even idea.
You mean student wise, or what do you mean?
No, both. I think student wise for sure. I think
Ah.
you were the guy around there for the whole region. Now you're feeding all the places. You're going different places happens naturally. You grow so much, and after a while, you have to spend. So
Yeah.
that's why we're doing. Right now, I'm in Bahia here in Salvador, northeast of Brazil. I just came from Dubai. I was on Sunday, man. Sunday night, I landed in Rio. Slept one night in Rio. Next night, I was here.
Wow.
And tomorrow morning, I'm going back to Rio. And Friday morning, I'm going to the south of Brazil. So it's nonstop. I'm on the road.
Yeah, that's
It's a
how
globetrotter.
that's how I feel. Too much driving. Too much traveling. Where I want to go is to Greece. Truthfully, I had a trip planned in November, but we had to cancel because they increased the restrictions.
Yes.
Okay.
And about a week before I was supposed to leave anyway, I ripped a tendon in my calf behind my knee really bad. So I may need surgery. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, so we're going to postpone the trip, maybe February, something like that. But we have a team there in Athens that I'm very proud of. And every chance that I can go back there and train with them, I love it. You know, it's amazing when, and I'm sure you felt it, Master, when you came to California and we were all white belts. We were so hungry, right? Remember?
Oh,
right.
yeah, for sure.
That's how they are in Greece right now. The team there is just hungry for me to go and to, you know, they treat me like gold. And Grandmaster, you remember when we went, what was that, 2017, I think, or 16?
16, I believe. Yeah.
16,
The first
yeah.
time. Yeah. The first
That
trip
was
there.
the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Professor Rob came, a couple of his guys. It was just beautiful. We went sightseeing. My father was there. My son was there. So we had 3 generations of Theophanopouloses, you know, catering to Grandmaster and making sure he was comfortable.
Oh,
you know, and even my dad still talks about it to this day. He had a beautiful, beautiful trip. Just wonderful.
Yeah. Because your father is a Superman. That's incredible. Man, it's incredible.
Yeah.
He was in very, very good shape, and he never stops. That's incredible.
Yeah. He's become my biggest fan. You know, growing up, I couldn't do anything right. He's an old school Greek guy, right? So, man, why do you want to marry her? Why do you want to move to Oakland? You want to do bullshit martial arts? What's the matter with you? Come here. You got to make money in the restaurant business. You know, just on and on my whole life.
Yeah.
And now he comes to the fights. He comes to Greece. He comes. You know, he wants to be around me all the time because he loves what I do. He understands now a little bit better.
Yeah. In the beginning, Tom, I remember many stories that you told me about your life. The first time you left Greece to come to the U.S. and how tough it was for you because it was a completely different kind of life.
Yeah.
And,
sorry.
Come on, go.
No, I'm just saying. I'm looking in the picture here. We 3. I think people are gonna get afraid watching this video. Say, man, I gotta be like that. So everybody come.
No hair and glasses.
Like this.
No hair. Yeah. That's it.
We're all getting old.
Glasses, beard, and no hair.
And last week we had here Rob Hendley, and he's with us now, and always it's a ball. So it's practice jiu-jitsu and you lose your hair. Come on, that's it.
Yeah.
So we're missing Ian here. Ian is the hope. Everybody can say, "Oh no, Ian." And come, we're gonna have. And actually, Ian have a lot of from his mom's side. Oh, look at him.
I don't feel this.
Wait. When I was your age, I had hair also, and a nice mustache.
Yeah, the mustache. Look at that.
And when I went to California first, and I met Tom there, I had hair as well.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
On video.
Okay, but let's don't talk about his experience. It was very interesting because many persons. You remember when he said at the beginning that he used on Friday he used to drive 2 hours and to train, and after that 3 hours to train. After that, sleep in the car to get a training on the other day and driving back. So imagine what that means, because there are many persons that are close to you and they say, "Oh boy, I don't know, I don't feel good." Oh, come on. So this is a kind of example that you have to follow, because if you want something, do it, go after it. So that's the main point. So that's why many times teaching seminars around the world, I remember persons that used to drive 800 kilometers to get to a 2-hour seminar and driving back. So this is incredible. Incredible. So, oh man. So tell us, come on, Tom. How about you?
There was a gentleman when I was supposed to go to Greece here in November who lived in Crete. He was there for work, I guess, and he actually bought a plane ticket and was going to come to Athens to train with me for a week while I was in Athens. It just broke my heart that I couldn't be there, you know. But yeah, this kind of sacrifice.
That's right.
Unbelievable. People don't understand that the greater the price, the greater the prize.
That's
They
right.
don't get it, and they wonder why they're not going anywhere in their life.
That's right.
They wonder why they're not succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah,
sure.
that's right. That's right. But tell us a little bit about your first experience traveling from Greece to Brazil. To U.S.
Yeah, I was 5 years old, and I remember everything, you know, since 4 years old. But at the time, we had just got through fighting the communists in Greece, and they had burned one in every third house in my village, including my uncle's house. And so I remember growing up as a little kid, looking at the house. My relatives lived in the basement because, you know, the whole house was burnt up top. And oftentimes, I talk about it with my father to this day, all we had was a piece of bread to eat, and we would maybe sprinkle a little bit of sugar on it, and we would wet it because the bread would be very hard, right? And for it to be edible, we wanted to soften it up, so we would put water on it so we can eat it. And when we first came to the U.S., I had never used a toilet. We didn't have a toilet in Greece. We used a shed in the back. I remember I would cry as a kid, and my aunt would have to take me to the park across the street for the first week we were there, go to the bathroom. Because I was afraid of the toilet. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh, boy, that's incredible. Yeah. Oh, boy. So there are so many persons with us today that I would like to say, look, do you have this kind of experience in your life? No, for sure not. But if you wanna grow, believe in yourself. That's what Tom Tofnopoulos did. You see, he worked in many different places and dishing washers. That's right.
Yes, correct. I was 9 years old. My father purchased his own little coffee shop. He had worked. And you know what's interesting, Grandmaster? There was a great lesson. I didn't understand it until much later in life. But my father, his first job, we lived in Oakland, California, in the Bay Area, and in an apartment. So my father's first job was a dishwasher. And one day he came home with a bag full of eggs. And he starts cooking the eggs at home. And he's giving us the eggs, my brother and I, to eat. So we're eating eggs over easy, scrambled, right? And it wasn't until much later I found out that he was applying for the cook's position to get a couple of more dollars an hour because the cook had quit, the morning cook. And so he graduated to the cook's position and ultimately saved enough money to buy a little coffee shop in Castro Valley. So I was the dishwasher. Every day after school, 3 o'clock, I'd go put my apron on, stand on an egg crate, and wash dishes. And in between, I would run in the office to do my homework. And then my father would yell, "Tom, I need more dishes." And I'd have to run out and do the dishes. He was the cook and my mother was the waitress. And they couldn't speak hardly any English. Hardly any. So then he got another restaurant, and now Grandmaster, he's a self-made man. You know, he's got apartments, he's got rental homes. He retired at 59 years old, and he's a millionaire, you know. And he came here with $36 in his pocket. $36. And what I learned from him is not only if you want more in life, do more, but when you make yourself more valuable, that's how you make more money. That's how you succeed. And that's what he did. He practiced, breaking those eggs, making breakfast, so he can become more valuable to John, the owner of the restaurant, so that John can hire him as a cook. That was an amazing lesson. And so all my life now, applying it to the martial arts, all I do is learn. I started studying judo. We've always had a judo instructor in my academies. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, kajukenbo, stick fighting, knife and stick fighting with eskrima, Because I love all martial arts and I'm always fascinated by the different disciplines. And so I consider myself a lifelong student of the martial arts. I think that once we think that we've arrived is our downfall.
That's right.
That's why I was so impressed in 2016 when we went to Brazil and you ended up putting on a white belt. That was amazing to me because in the martial arts, I'm not sure about all martial arts, but in Kajukenbo, the philosophy is you start as a white belt and you have what we call spontaneous movement, right? If somebody does something to you, you might wince or throw your hands up, but your movement is spontaneous. Then when you reach black belt, your movements are mechanical, right? You have a basic understanding of everything. But then finally, when you reach red belt, is when you reach the spontaneous, or excuse me, that's when you reach mastery, right? Now you've mastered the techniques. But then red belt goes back to white belt, and you're back to spontaneous, but in a mechanically correct way. So it's a full circle, and you notice your belt. What color is it becoming now? It's going from red, back to white. Your red belt, because it's so frayed, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big circle. It's a continuous circle. We don't stop. We don't stop learning.
That's it, for sure. Yeah, that was a way of talking to people, explaining to people with that you're going to be a student forever. If you want to grow, if you want to, let's say, get more knowledge of anything, so or of everything. So in jiu-jitsu, I'm learning every day. You know, now I'm a very let's say very hard working student of Young. Yeah, man.
We
He's
both.
teaching me. Yeah, he's teaching me a lot of things. It's incredible. Not incredible, but it's great. As I teach him some kind of some philosophy, some point of concepts. He teaches me things that are so actual, so pliable on the way that we are living now with internet. So I'm learning a lot. It's incredible. But if you have to keep your mind open, otherwise you think that you know. Never think that you know. That's the point. That was the lesson that your father gave to you.
Yeah,
That's right. That's it.
And that's the lesson, Grandmaster. And you're open to that. This is where success comes from because you're open to that. Most people at your level are not. They think they know it all already.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah, even on that very low level, it's incredible. Now internet is people are trying to show things that they think that they know, and you can just see that they don't know, and so what they do, they show moves, but when you are showing moves, you are just showing yourself. This is an ego. If you want to let anyone understand and learn, you have to teach. And teaching is something that you must have your mind, your head absolutely open. First, to know what you're doing. Second, to have a responsibility on what you are saying and teaching. And after all, the technique. The techniques is just a simple part of the whole thing. People are now showing techniques, and show is nothing because you're not going to be able to repeat. But if I teach you, you're going to be able to adapt it to you. So that's the point.
Yeah, like but no, for me, this course here, I was looking for so much because every time I have my partner, Elder Andrade, is my teacher, man. This
Oh, Silvio.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's an internet, but anyway, anyway, we have here. I don't know if you can see it, Tom. A lot of person from Netherlands, from Germany, from Belgium. Oh boy, from Brazil for sure, and a lot of people, a lot of persons. Oh, that's nice. I love this person that are interested on. Oh,
Your
from Puerto Rico. That Shimmy is here.
your family,
Shimmy,
Master.
yeah, that's a big family. Oh boy, that's great. That's great. So that's interesting, because sometimes there are person they cannot come to be with us because they don't speak English. Uh, but another thing, try. That's what I say. Try. Keep listening. Some probably you're gonna understand, or if not, you're gonna be learning something new. So let's go on. So
How did you learn all those languages? Did you just go and pick them up, or did you study before you went to those countries? How did you
now,
learn?
my first one was interesting. It was English. I was in Brazil. I was studying on a special school, English school, and when I got to my first trip was in 1955 to U.S. and I went straight to Miami, and it was funny because it was a propeller flight, 26 hours from Rio de Janeiro to Miami. We had to stop everywhere. So to refill the plane. That's interesting. When I got to Miami, one day I was together with a professor that was conducting a Brazilian group, and one day I decided to go by myself. I said, "Oh, I don't want to be together with. I speak English, so I go." And I went to a restaurant. When I saw the menu, I said, "Man, I cannot understand nothing. There's one word that I could understand: meat." And at that time, I used to eat meat, so I said, "Oh, this is good. I know meat. I'm gonna ask for that." When they brought it to me, and I couldn't eat. It was a cold meat or something. I don't remember. With a jello, the green jello around. Oh boy, I couldn't eat that. So it's then I understood. Boy, I don't speak English. So I went to a university in Lafayette, Louisiana, and then I started learning. But I can say to you that I really learned being with my colleagues instead of on the classroom,
Yeah.
because I had to speak, I had to say, I had to understand. So so when I came back to Brazil, I started trying to speak most of the time. But my first experience on the marketing business, I was working with an international company, so I had to improve my English. So that was my English. That was okay. And Spanish was because I had to travel to all South America. All South American countries, they speak Spanish. So I have to improve it. And I started. I was very close to Portuguese, so it was not so complicated.
Yeah.
And French was funny because I started traveling to France for teaching jiu-jitsu, and someone was translating. I was speaking English, and but I saw that a person was very fluent on translating, but not enough to make people understand the way I was talking.
Yeah.
So
Contact.
then I said, okay, now I have to speak, and I started trying, and I did by myself. Now I read and speak and I write.
Wow.
Well, yeah, in French, yeah,
No kidding. Wow.
yeah, and I'm fluent in English and French, and because I just decided to do it, and it was a challenge because someone told me after 60 years old, it's very hard to learn another language. I was more than 60, so I got it.
Wow. That's amazing. But if you saturate yourself, if you live in that environment, it would be a lot easier, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
And you didn't have that luxury. You had to go back and forth.
Yeah.
You had to learn it while you were in Brazil. That's even more amazing. My son, Nick, lives in Greece on an island currently with his wife, and he's been there a couple of years, but he's having a hard time with the language. And he lives there. Yeah, very difficult.
Hey guys, sorry, my connection, my 4G is playing with me, kicking me out of the live. So, but I got before I gonna get kicked again.
Come on.
Before the knockout, because the third time's a knockout. So, I let you know, Tom, man, it's always a pleasure to see you, man. You know, you're someone that I always look for. You know, to be close to you. You're an inspired person. You're a role model. You know that. You know, and all the time that I know you're with my father. I'm there. I'm so happy. I'm so glad that you guys are connected that way. And he loves you so much. Look up to you as well, the same way. So for me, man, it's always a pleasure. And at this time, being here with you and have a chance to chat and share that with everyone, our experience. You know, I remember the first time I went to a dinner, you know, mine was so bad, man. I was messing up all the dinner there, you know, with the bad language there. You know, I you know, in Canada, I learned to say I don't care instead I don't give a shit.
Oh boy.
Oh, that took me a while to figure out that was the right way to say things, you know. But in the beginning, it was really bad language. But I know I was surrounded for a lot of people. Not you. I could be surrounded more by you for much longer. I will learn better English, but I was surrounded by a lot of guys like me, you know. So more like not with the so mature attitude with the family there. A lot of single guys around, so that was a problem. But man, it's a pleasure to talk to you here. But man, unfortunately, here we're gonna start our course again. I have the guys coming back to the class here, and you know, you guys, you know, much love and respect for all of you. And I hope I get back there as soon as I can. I was there. We did connect, but
Yeah,
wasn't time enough. But next time we're gonna be in advance.
the timing was bad. If we can plan it, Master, that would be the best. We live in a very awkward time right now with everything going on. And I really look forward to getting together with both of you eventually. And it'll be my pleasure, you know, and I feel the same way about you. Much respect, much love always. And even though we haven't been together these last years, I want to thank you so much for sending your father, because that was such a pleasure. I learned a lot, and I learned a lot from both of you. And I just want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Of course, man. Much love, guys. Yeah, keep talking there, because I know people are gonna love this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Master.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Now Sylvia used to say to me that you were crazy traveling so much like that. Now it's exactly what he does.
Yeah. we become our fathers.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
The very thing we hated about our fathers, we become our fathers. That's amazing. Incredible lesson.
Yeah. I'm sorry about my little dog. She barks all the time.
That's okay.
She's incredible. But man,
mine
I think but yours, oh man, that's oh yeah, those two are nice. Now Rob has another one, huh?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He has a puppy from one of my dogs, Benny the Jet, to Professor Mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. So that's great. It's great.
Beautiful.
Let's see here. It's Red Rooster Academy is from Belgium. This is Pierre. Hi, Professor Tom. I would like to know you. It's more wrestling or more judo? Can you read the
I'm
the
trying
question they put it?
to say, Professor Tom. It's very small letters, unfortunately.
Okay, so
Can you read it, Master? Because I can barely see it.
okay, so I'll read it for you. Hi, Professor Tom. I would like to know, do you teach more wrestling or more judo? What do you do with a brand new white belt who has 10 years on wrestling?
You mean rank wise? Yeah, I can
Yeah.
answer both of those. We have judo is with Sensei Christine Lincoln Pennick. She's probably one of the most decorated female judo players in the world. 9-time world champion. I mean, the lady's just unbelievable. She came to me wanting to learn BJJ about 8 or 9 years ago. So she's currently a brown belt. She's my student in jiu-jitsu and I'm her student in judo. And she promoted me some years back to black belt in judo. She teaches 1 day a week judo, but I also teach the judo in my curriculum in the jiu-jitsu, right? Because what we do is, even though most fights we all know end up on the ground with a grappling situation, right? Maybe 90%, let's say, 100% of fights start standing up. So I start all of my classes with upper body gripping, judo, Greco-Roman, that sort of thing, right? Upper body. Of course, our self-defense is based on the judo as well. We offer submission wrestling 1 day a week, but for the kids, we offer wrestling 2 days a week, 2 times. But the majority of the classes are, of course, jiu-jitsu, because I feel that in the jiu-jitsu, it covers both the wrestling and the judo. Now, as far as wrestlers getting rank, one of my fighters, Lamar Reed, he came in with All-American wrestler, very big credentials in wrestling, and started off as a white belt. As he went and competed and started winning tournaments, I promoted him maybe quicker than somebody who doesn't have any grappling experience at all and not competing. Okay, why? Because maybe he's a black belt in grappling, just like Sensei Christine is a black belt in judo, but the curriculum is different. The techniques are different. He needed to learn the style. He needed to pay the price and he needed to put in his time. Okay. So recently Lamar went and won the no-gi world championships, first place. As a blue belt. So I had promoted him to blue. He won the world championships, no-gi. And here in Vegas last week or 2 weeks ago, he went and competed and made it all the way to the final with 70 people in his bracket, and he lost the final with a technicality, stalling.
Oh,
so the other fighter won because of a stalling penalty.
Oh boy!
That was unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. So anyway, so he's been a blue belt now for about a year and a half. I'm going to promote him to purple because he did very good this year on a world stage. And then of course he's fighting Saturday in an MMA fight as well. But anyway, so the guy's very active, trains full time, and he's going to get promoted a little quicker based on his performance and activity. Maybe quicker than somebody, because it doesn't make any sense to keep him a blue belt if he's beating brown belts and black belts. It doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, I ensure that he knows the self-defense. I make sure he knows jiu-jitsu, fights from the guard, lapel gripping. Okay, he's got to know all that stuff. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I guess so. It was very good. Very good. Any other question from anyone? Come on, just put it on the screen here. Come on. Hey, Jan.
Finally
at home.
Not home.
The studio.
But
your studio.
No, not a place.
Okay.
But it's like home too.
All right.
How are you, Professor?
Good, Professor. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, I say the same. Thank you for coming.
I'm
sorry I could not participate since the beginning, but I was always here.
Good to have you.
Hey, Tom, I think that someday, if you meet Ian personally, yeah, you're gonna find out that he's a good teacher. Okay.
I already know
So,
that.
yeah.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's great.
I
That's
already
great.
know that. And I think Professor Ian, you were there at the at Grandmaster's birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we met, but I can't remember specifically. But I'm pretty sure we met personally.
Yeah. He came. He came the day, not the day before or after.
Yeah.
He came. Yeah, and I guess so. Did you went
Yeah.
to Rio too,
Yes, I
Tom?
did. Yeah, right. That's right.
So
It was in Rio. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
starting
he was in
to
Rio.
remember.
Yes.
My memory is not what it used to be, unfortunately. But yeah, I do remember.
Even the
That's
mine.
good.
Mine as
You got
well.
to go. You have a long ways to go.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
But
I'm afraid. I'm afraid for this.
no one is as sharp as Grandmaster, though. He brings up stuff that happened years ago that I just don't remember. Grandmaster, you have an amazing mind.
Oh boy. Yeah, sure, sure. This is I can say that my mind is good.
Yes.
I have a good memory for many things. Another day someone was saying to me, "Guys, it's impossible. How do you know that? How do you remember that?" Oh, it's possible, yeah. Oh, that's another question here from Dido. Dido is from Netherlands. I'm wondering, Professor Tom, how did you BJJ your wrestling and judo? How did you BJJ? Okay. How did you BJJ your wrestling and judo? How do you put those things together?
Well, I mean, they have to be practiced separately because there's different philosophies and different techniques in each one. But at the end of the day, when you fight, you just fight. It's chaotic,
Yeah,
right? There's nothing pretty about it.
that's right.
So you're going to do it however you train.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just respond. You don't think, you just respond. And whatever you've been training the most is the way you're going to react.
Yeah, when you put together most of those things, when you put together, you're going to be a good fighter for sure. So because you have such a vocabulary that you can use everywhere. Okay, so this is the point. Oh, that's another guy here from.
It's like learning to speak, right?
Yeah, that's right.
If you learn to speak English, if you learn to speak Spanish, you could talk with uh, anybody who speak English or who speaks Spanish. And if you were is in a room where speak Spanish and English, you can speak all the languages. So it's good to learn. It's good to learn. Always good to learn. I was hearing you guys talk about learning, and this is what my grandfather teach me with the example is how you could be a grandmaster with 84 years old and still open to learn. This is really an example. It's like a smash in the face for a lot of guys who have my age or under and thinks he knows everything already. So this is. Thank you, grandfather.
You're welcome, my son.
Right.
Okay.
I will need to leave. So
Yeah. Okay. So no, it's okay. It was amazing, Tom, Professor Tom Tofnopoulos, because this is a very
thank you very
special
much.
friend of mine.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank
you
you
for
very much
being
for your
with us.
participation, Tom.
And for sure. Thank you
See
very,
you
very
next.
much.
It's such a